at WLFE-DB.com for upcoming shows and so much more.
Hey everyone, it's Tuesday night again. You know what that means, don't you? It's time to join Mike and Kristie for another episode of Where's My Sage? A show hosted by a psychic medium and a guy on a quest to find Bigfoot. Who would have thought? Together, they will take you on all sorts of adventures, and not with lots of different people. Kristie even gives readings. It's time to sit back, get up and get ready. You can't sample the universe sitting down. Your hosts are waiting. Come on, let's go.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Where's My Sage, a taste of the universe. I'm Mike, and I'm here with my co-host, Kristie in London. And how are you tonight, Kristie?
Hi, I'm doing well. Good evening, everyone. How are you?
Good.
How are you doing, Michael?
I'm here. A little bit ahead today, so we're here.
Long day, long week.
Yeah. It was a busy weekend for both of us, and we got another huge weekend this weekend. I was out at the Sasquatch Triangle Festival in Coshocton, Ohio. I got to meet some really cool people. Got to catch up with some people that I've been chatting with on the phone and actually meet with them in person because I came up the West Coast.
Right.
And thank goodness, some of the restrictions out there are a little better than they are in New York, where we could actually get, close enough to talk.
Really? So it was a little more relaxed, like back to real life.
You couldn't get up around, move around the room without your mask on, but they had us at 10 tops so you could sit and talk. So, I ran into some former guests. So Eric Altman, who I haven't seen in a year, which was good to see Eric in Pennsylvania.
Love Eric.
Steve Culls. And Steve and I actually got out Salt Fork State Park, which is famous for Bigfoot sightings and stuff. So we got some good photos. Steve
had any luck?
They're out. No, but we saw some pretty good animals. Steve he actually just put a video up on his page with some of the thermal footage that he got.
Nice.
You saw Mike and Mike from the Ohio Night Soccer. So a good day. Don Keating, who started the Bigfoot conferences out there, was there to represent, and they brought him out of retirement to speak, which was really nice. And nice gentleman talk about ticks, and that's a big thing to kind of remind everybody. We're getting into hiking season again, and those little buggers are nasty.
Yeah.
You can pull up one of those little tick keychains to take them off. Some of the old wives' tale methods. Yeah.
Tick keychain.
Yeah, it looks like a keychain, but it's a little hook. So
what do you mean? What do you do? Explain it to me.
Put it on. You put the ticks there. You put the little thing on, and it pulls the little head out. And it's very important to take them out that way. So I'll be doing a gear show. So yeah, the whole burning and alcohol and everything just doesn't work so well, from what he was telling us. So
I'd probably set myself on fire.
Probably. So
wow. Didn't even miss a beat. What the heck?
I'm on. It's just
yeah, you're something. So I had a pretty good weekend too.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was filming another episode of When Darkness Falls. It was really exciting. And we had a special guest, Mr. Tim Shaw, came with us.
Yeah, and Tim's here.
What's that?
I said Tim is in a chat. So
hey, so I just literally ran off of his show and it just ended, and now we're here. So it was great, so much fun. Thank you again for having me. It was wonderful. But yes, he and I, we had it was a great experience. The place was amazing. It was just beautiful. Good. Yeah, it was awesome. And the owners, I can't say enough about the owners. They were so hospitable. They were so nice and gracious, and she made us dinner. So we had dinner when we got there.
Very nice.
It really was. And they just were so accommodating and just wanted to know whatever we could get. And oh my gosh, the mansion's just beautiful. And the event center is just fantastic. And we had a lot of good activity, and Tim and I meshed really well together when we worked together. So that was even more fun. And yeah. Kind of like the blind leading the blind, but
Yep.
But yeah.
So and now everybody coming in. Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry, I stepped on you there.
No, Go ahead. That's all right.
No, I just wanted to say hello to folks that are coming into the chat. Please like, share, subscribe, hit the YouTube. So Tim's there, John Kennedy's there. We're also going to see them in Michigan, Paracon up there. And then we got a huge event this weekend too.
We do. Do you have the slide for that?
Probably. Yeah, I do, but I didn't download it yet.
That's okay. So Mike and I are going on the road again. Super, super, super excited about this one because for one, it gets me out of the house for a few days, but it's awesome. We have tried to get to this location 2 years in a row. This is the third year, and we had to cancel it the last 2 years, but we are going live on Saturday night on the USS Salem in Quincy, Massachusetts. I cannot tell you how excited I am for this. She is a gorgeous ship. Lots of history. And Don, who is our host, is just wonderful. He was actually on our show months back. Yep, there she is. Oh. Mike's really quick with the buttons tonight, isn't he, you guys? There. Yeah.
But we're going to be live at 8:30 and 10:30 Eastern Standard Time.
Yeah.
While we're up there, hopefully we got some really good reception. Bring back the other slide. There we go. I'm all over the place. At least somebody cares. Thanks, Tim.
Whatever. I think you're just looking for attention for this.
Okay.
I'm kidding.
And then we got
I'm especially looking forward to. Wait, I got to say this. You know what I'm especially looking forward to with this trip? Huh?
What?
Is the fact that, well, we're driving there, and this time we're taking my car, which means you have to listen to my music all the way down there.
Okay.
We have a little bit of music taste, and similarities, but otherwise, yeah.
Yeah, like the time you and Stacy took over my radio. Yeah, we're not gonna go there.
Yeah, but that was just for fun. He's like, oh, here, go ahead. We put some funky Bahama Mama music on. It was great. He got in the car like, what the hell? Don't touch my radio. Never mind, you're not allowed to touch it.
Tim, you're right. Headset. But I'm coming from work, so the biggest thing is trying to stay awake because I'm doing 12 hours that day. So, and then getting in for the drive. So
yeah, go ahead. Fall asleep. I dare you. Yeah. I can go live by myself. No problem. Hello. All right. So wait a second. Did I see that somebody was just on Tim's show?
Yes, that's what I was trying to get to. Yep.
Oh, well, excuse me.
Grumpy pants I've got going today. I don't know.
Oh, yeah. Oh, hi, Debbie. Yes. Thank you. Thank you for joining us. Welcome.
So, again,
hello,
folks,
everybody.
please like,
John's
share.
still in dinner.
Yep. Let's see. We need to get the clickers going. I need the Kristie clicker up. Even though it's family, so we'll know she'll behave tonight. Who
are you kidding? You don't know my family.
Okay, please like, share, subscribe. Yep.
Not really. We're not that bad.
And I've got a couple episodes I still got to upload. So we're still, if you're looking for those old episodes on Spreaker, Spotify, I've got about 2 weeks I have to upload here. So,
Michael.
Yeah, I dropped the ball. I ran out of town quick and been working a lot of overtime, so we can.
All right, you're allowed.
Take all these trips. So,
well, I can play solo on this one if you want to stay home and work. I mean.
Okay. Yep. Okay.
He's so rude.
So thank you from Goosebumps Paranormal. Wishing us luck. And John's right. I'm the button master. And I'm going to push all the buttons today. So.
And John is coming to us on his lunch break from work or his dinner break. So thank you.
So yeah. we got a great guest tonight.
Yeah, we do.
A very important location. And
yes, we do. Yes, it is.
Why don't you do a little more introduction? I'll
Okay.
click the hellos as we go and hit the like, share, subscribe. And please, folks, really start hitting that YouTube stuff because we're going to be doing a lot of stuff over there. So where's my sage on YouTube? But again, tonight we're coming to you from WLFE DB Radio, YouTube, Facebook, and Stream TV. We're coming to you from Where's My Sage on Facebook and YouTube. We're coming to you from Kristie London's Facebook, YouTube, her business page. Oh, and maybe a Tactical Bigfoot on Facebook. So one of mine and 12 of everybody else's. So, and then you'll be able to find the rest there on Where's My Sage. I'm just looking at buttons going, which ones do I got here tonight? It's not a Bigfoot show.
Exactly. Man, make me look bad. I'm doing what I'm supposed to.
Yeah, and that's something, guys. If you're looking for Bigfoot shows, go over to the old ones, Tactical Bigfoot on YouTube. If you're looking for reading shows, Kristie's, we're kind of locking. So
didn't your wife just say something like that the other day?
Matt. Oh, this one here?
Yeah,
watching it was like watching it. Yep, it's just kind of like that. So that's why we are and what we do.
Yeah.
Just let it go. Thanks, John. Maybe when I'm up in Michigan, we'll get out there. So
that'd be fun.
All right. So who we got?
So tonight, so you might have noticed on the slide that we had a few different things listed for her. Her sanctuary, her story, her kitchen. That's just the tip of the iceberg for our guest tonight. She has actually been in business, but even more so been a healer for many, many, many years. And the kind of person she is, I remember watching as I was young, growing up and seeing her and looking up to her, and her sister Cindy as well. As Mike said, she's family. This is my cousin Sue Morreale, who is the owner of her story, her sanctuary, and now her kitchen. But she has been helping people to feel good about themselves and taking care of people for many, many years. And I'm not trying to make her sound old by saying that over and over again, but it's true. For as long as I can remember, her whole life watching her has been an honor for me. So without further ado, because I just want her to tell her story because I can't do it justice. So, but I will say that her sanctuary is the place that in Buffalo here where I do hold my gallery readings in the co-op space that she has for women there. So this is a place that's very near and dear to my heart. But again, I will allow her also to explain where that idea came from and how it was born. So without further ado, Sue Morreale.
Okay, there we go.
Hi, Sue.
Hey, hi guys.
Hello.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks for being on.
Uh,
How are you?
I'm well. I am well. You know what? It was a beautiful day out. The sun was shining. So you know what? That's a gift right there, right?
That's right. Absolutely. Absolutely. Oh.
Okay. So go ahead.
What's that?
So,
I was just adjusting her volume a little bit from our end.
Oh, okay.
okay. Is it good? Is it good?
Well, yeah, we got a little.
Sometimes I talk really loud.
Oh, she's got the hand going and everything already.
That's fine.
Sometimes I talk really loud.
We got a little bit of we got a little bit of feedback, and I'm going to try to see if I can fix that from my end. So,
do you have earbuds or a headset?
I told Mike that my computer wanted to play bad with me, so it's charging right now. So I can't.
That's okay.
I can't do both.
Okay, no.
So nobody's here with me, so it's just me, myself, and I.
That's okay.
So hopefully no one's going to be interrupting. I'll try it in a few minutes. Let me see if I can try it. Let me see if this does it. Let's see.
What?
What is that? That didn't need to.
That's garbage.
I read that wrong.
I was gonna say.
There you go.
We don't want to give that.
There you go.
Credit.
Is that better?
Oh, yeah, it's a little better. It's a little better.
I read that one wrong. Well, I thought it was the other way around.
Okay, I was gonna say.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no.
Yeah, I read that wrong.
But I will say that's a new one. I haven't seen that one pop up on any of our stuff yet. That's a new one. Yeah. Love when people try to sneak in. All right. So anywho, and for everybody out there in the chat tonight, please get your questions ready. Sue's pretty much an open book. So you like how I just offer that right now? So,
Yeah, I do. That's okay. That's good. That's good.
Good. So yeah, get your questions ready. And we'll definitely take your questions from the chat tonight as well. So Susie, as we call you.
Yeah, Susie. I know. I have many names.
You do, but for family, you'll always be Susie. So tell us your story. I can't even, I have, I can ask you so many questions, but honestly, your story speaks for itself, and we'll just kind of go along the way if we have any questions. And, how did you get started? How did you get to this point in your life?
Okay. Well, first of all, I wear many hats. I'm a mom, I'm a daughter, I'm a sister, I'm a friend.
Oh.
Are you? You didn't do anything. It was Mike.
It's a good thing I didn't hit the ban from studio button.
Oh, all right. Okay. Are we back?
We are.
Okay.
Oh my goodness.
Well, anyway, like I was saying, I have many different hats that I wear. And so, as Kristie was saying, I am very much a nurturer. I've always taken care of people, and I've always had a love of helping others. And that led me to a nursing career. So I was a registered nurse, and I started nursing when I was literally 20 years old. And I was in charge of a 34-bed hospital in Niagara Falls Memorial. And I was 20 years old, and I was telling 40-year-old women, like, I was giving them orders, I was in charge. And it was a really wild experience being so young and, taking care of so many people at such a young age. But it's just something that just felt super natural and normal to me. And I just always wanted to give back and help other people live their best life. And then I got married, and I had my daughter. And when I had my daughter, I was working 12-hour shifts. And back then, I think nurses still do 12-hour shifts now too, but 12-hour shifts was such a long time for me to be away from my daughter, Sierra. I mean, I missed breakfast, lunch, dinner. And by the time I got home, it was like 8:30 at night. So I just didn't want to do that anymore, but yet I wanted to still help people in a different way. And that is where her story was born from. And actually, it started out long ago in Niagara Falls, and Kristie actually worked for us. And it was actually called Lotions and Potions. And everyone thought it was like a little a place where we brewed all these things. And it was funny because if you tried to tell someone about aromatherapy or essential oils back then, I mean, they looked at you like you were had three eyes,
Right.
And I mean, and Kristie didn't say that, but I just celebrated 30 years of being in business.
That's
so
right. Wow.
It's pretty wild. I just can't even believe that I can say that out loud. But
I can't believe that I can say that I can remember that and then go back even further. And I worked there. So
yeah, you did. You worked with all our mixing and blending.
I did.
So
you taught me a lot.
Yeah, I always wanted to take care of people. So I thought that this was a different way that I could do it, and I could really help people learn about taking care of themselves, mind, body, soul. So that's where Lotions and Potions was born from. And it was great because I lived upstairs, and Sierra came to work. She came to work with me. I mean, we had a little room set up in the back with all her toys and everything. And so I got to have the best of both worlds. I got to have my daughter with me, and I got to do something that I was really passionate about and really loved. And it just made for a really, really great atmosphere.
Right. And I have to say that back then, and just for the record, guys, I was in high school. Okay.
Yes, she was.
But the one thing that I always loved also is that you always had your own sense of style and different. You had an appreciation for things and an eye for things that most people don't have. And I always admired that because I have none of that at all. So, well, I mean, appreciation, yes, but an eye for the different beauty in things and how to arrange and how to present certain things. I don't have that. And, there would be days where I'd walk in, because mostly Saturdays, right? I'd walk in and, okay, it's completely different. And I was just here 2 days ago or last week. And you're like, oh yeah, the mood just struck me and I just kind of felt like I needed to do this or that. And you carried so many different things that even in the early 90s, we didn't have in this area yet. And like you said, aromatherapy was not something that you thought of. People were like, what the hell is that? Are you like, what are you talking about? Homeopathic, natural. You had such a wide variety of things that you could rearrange. You would walk the store 10 times and you'd always see something new that you didn't see before. And it was always so elegant and it was always so well thought out. And it just walking in made you feel at home and good and warm and comfortable. And yeah.
Yeah. Well, you know what? I mean, I know my mother used to always tell me I was like an old soul. And I just believe that just as things age, whether it's an object or it's a person, that they matter and it matters and everything has a story, and it just to be appreciated and learn about the wisdom behind it and the where it came from. And I just think it's really important. So I always had a love for vintage and blending the old with the new, because I think it's just a really cool way to repurpose things of a past and like they have a story. And I mean, a lot of times when I would decorate it, I would think about like, wow, where did this teacup come from?
Right.
Who drank out of it? Who was the woman that held this? And so I always think that when you do something that you love and that you're passionate about, it doesn't feel like work. So it just never felt like work to me. It just felt like doing something that I loved and doing it with my daughter who I love and wanted to teach her so much about being an entrepreneur and being a strong woman and the products. And I appreciate that you spoke of the products that we have and stuff, because it was a lot of thought out curating of things that have a meaning and have a story behind them, and women owned businesses. And that's what we would highlight all the time is, if you came in the store, I would immediately say, oh my God, you got to hear the story about why this woman created this earring, and it just became such a thing about our space that we eventually changed the name from Lotions and Potions to her story, because I had a story and she has a story and you have a story and we all have a story. So it eventually became her story.
Beautiful. I know. And I'm kicking myself because this whole time you would have thought that I have that picture of me working behind the mixing bar, and I should have had it for Mike to put up, and I didn't, because we're always talking about the hair. And it was like 94 when that picture was taken. It was, I had a perm and I have naturally curly hair, and it was the spiral perm and a lot of hair going on. It was so funny.
Yeah.
I'm thinking, shoot, I should have had it. Oh well, we'll post it later. But
yeah, we'll post it later.
Yeah.
I think I have it. I think I have it. Definitely.
That's awesome. Yeah.
Just send it to me now. I can definitely throw it right up on there.
If I could easily access it, I would have.
But yeah, your location is a wonderful little location. It's a beautiful, beautiful facility. And I've done a couple of times that I've been up there for some events for Kristie and for a couple other friends that there's the products that you carry are just amazing products.
Thank you. So. It's funny too, because it's, we started our journey in Niagara Falls, and then, as life gives us different obstacles or challenges that we go through, I went through a divorce, and, I wanted to change. I wanted to kind of just, have my own space. So we moved our store actually to Williamsville. And we were in Williamsville for, I think it was like 7 years. And in that time frame, it was just a great experience. Once again, you cultivate the women in your community, you cultivate what you're doing, you have a following of amazing people that support you and follow you. And Williamsville, my Williamsville days were really, really well. And I have friendships that are still they're still my friends today. And it was a great time in my life.
Wonderful.
Yeah. So but then we moved on again.
Yes, you did. It's a good thing that you can transform any space you go to, let me tell you. You just grab hold of it and make it your own. It's awesome.
Well, it's once again, I don't ever feel like I'm on this journey of life by myself. I feel like I've always been supported by an amazing, and I tend to keep saying women, but that has been like a huge support for me. And, when I was in Williamsville is when I was diagnosed with breast cancer. So that was a pretty devastating moment in my life. And I mean, I had my business. I didn't know what I was going to do. I was afraid I was going to die. And how am I going to keep my store open? How am I going to take care of my daughter? And I had such an amazing support system behind me that I actually, during that year of treatment and stuff, was actually able to keep my business open. And I will never forget the people that really helped me to do that, and it meant everything to me, so that was my Williamsville days.
So when you moved on, why did you move on?
Why did I move on? Well, once again, it's like you said, you kind of look at things, and you know what, it's all about the ups and downs and the different paths that we go on. And, Williamsville, as great as it was for me, it was time to move on. And, you come to a different part in your life. And as I went through breast cancer, I started to learn about a lot of different things that I incorporated into my world. And one of them was down on Elmwood Avenue. I would go to Lexington Co-op, and that was like a health food store. And that was like where I was learning about all different kinds of foods and things to take care of myself. And I just loved that area. I just thought it was really, really cool and fun, and, a happening place. And I was like, I'm moving down here. And of course, my parents looked at me like, "What? You're not going to Elmwood. You're not leaving and going to Elmwood."
She's moving again. What? I was like, she's doing what?
I know, but you know what? Listen, you know what? If it's one thing that I've learned through all of this is you have to trust your gut. And you have to trust that inner voice speaking to you. And there wasn't I can't, or I won't, or I'm not going to. It's I was going to do it. And nothing was getting in the way, and I was going to do it, and I did it. And I created, once again, I maneuvered myself into one of the best places on Elmwood. I talked to the owner of the building and, made a deal and painted. I did everything, did it all. Yep. And I'm so glad that I did it. It was a great, great choice, because once again, I just grew into another direction, into another whole group of people. And it was amazing. Amazing.
You had a lot of energy in that building too, let me tell you, especially that little back room of yours. This building had, I'll never forget the first time I walked in, man. It was this, like on the side of the front, like you walk in and you walk to the back counter, it was like an L, but the wall that came, up to the counter on the right-hand side, there was this door, you guys, it was like almost like an elf door. It was like a
you had
slant,
to bend down,
and then you come down and you had to squat down, and there were stairs, and then you went down, and like that's where like this little bathroom was and her little back room was. And I was like, who the hell's fitting through that door? Number one. Number two, how am I supposed to keep my coordination while I'm trying to Sue's like, now for those of you who don't know, Susie's skinny as a stick, and I am certainly not. So that was interesting. So I said, for some of us, it's not going to be so easy, but no, it was really cool. I made a bunny back there.
I'll never forget the times that you came to visit and you would be like down there. You're like, oh, I got to use the bathroom. I was like, oh no, don't let Kristie use my bathroom because someone's going to talk to her and she's going to come up and tell me and I'm going to be like, all right, I'm out.
Yeah. And that's exactly what happened too. Yeah.
Kind of like that meme I sent you, bathrooms in the basement. Yeah.
Oh man, he's such a jerk. He sends me this thing and it's like bowels of hell. And he's not wrong though. You go to some of these places to do an investigation and you're like, the bathroom's where? Okay, I don't have to pee anymore. And it's funny because Tim Shaw and I were just talking about how we were joking about maybe bringing Depends with us on certain investigations. So that just reinforces the whole idea.
Oh my God.
Oh yeah, I was like, oh boy.
Yeah.
So, but no, I mean, you did what you always do though, and you put your spin on it and you put your touch on it, and it was just awesome.
Yeah, it was a beautiful space, and
Yeah.
as much as we talk about the energy that may have been down there, it certainly wasn't upstairs because everybody just loved all the
Right.
energy that we
Yeah.
had. But like I said, once again, it's like when you
Yeah.
nurture and curate things that you love, it just made it, easy to do. So
That's right. It's all about your intentions
mhm,
and your
mhm.
energy.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Definitely.
I love it.
Definitely.
Are there any questions, Mike?
Not yet.
Because I'm not really paying attention to it yet.
No, I'm watching those. Let's see. Yeah, I guess Mike has got one here. Is it okay to drink fresh fruit juices instead of potatoes, veggies, and meats? I have stomach problems with swallowing solid foods. I can't use herbs, salt, or either. So I find it a difficult way to get my nutrition. I guess she's asking about her kitchen.
Oh,
So
and just so you know, Micah comes to us from the Netherlands, so it's the middle of the night for her right now, and she tunes in every week.
Oh,
Yeah.
nice. Well, you know what? I love juicing, and when I went through breast cancer, I definitely there's a lot of things that are out of your control, so I had to look at what I could control, and for me it was my food. So I really did a lot of research on what to eat, foods that harm and foods that heal. And I love juicing. I have a juicer, and it's the quickest way to get nutrients into your body. And juicing is great. I mean, we have a whole page, a whole website on the Her Kitchen Buffalo, and we talk about plant-based wellness and all sorts of different foods and different workshops that we do. So I would say juicing is great. Just depends. I mean, I always say for everything, check with your doctor if you're on any kind of medications and, stuff like that. But I love to juice. I juice every day, and I also juice wheatgrass shots every day, which are amazing.
Great.
Amazing.
And we'll definitely talk more about that.
Yep.
I do want to focus a little more on your journey with the breast cancer, because I think it was really cool. I think it was the first time that I saw you refer to yourself when I looked at your page just to make the slide and to get ready for the show. That was the first time that I actually remember having you refer to yourself as a cancer thriver, not survivor. And I know, I've talked lots about this, and I wanted to dwell on that part because it has helped your business to evolve, because you evolved as a person and got that much better and stronger for it. Therefore, you put that into your business and you put it out there in the community and help others. So talk more about that. So once you got to Elmwood and you started this journey, what was happening and what was going on?
Well, like I had said a few minutes ago about, kind of letting go and not focusing on the things that you can't control and trying to focus on the things that you can control. That's what I really started to do for myself. And as I did that, it just helped me to feel stronger and stronger, because I was able to make decisions for myself that, like I said earlier, listening to that inner voice, not ignoring like what your gut is telling you. And so the more that I stepped into that for myself and realized that that what I do feel and think does matter. I do love myself. I do need to put myself first and take care of myself before I can do that for anyone else. And the more I stepped into that, the more I felt like, oh my God, this is amazing. I feel so good. I want other people to feel good. And I think it's so, so important to really listen to your inner voice and know that you are amazing. We all are individuals and we all have a purpose in this world. And when we realize that and step into it, it's just that much better. So as I did that, it just, it helped me to like continue the journey of the business and just really put even more of what I learned into more of what I wanted other people to learn for themselves. And you can't, I was never preachy about it. And I was never like, you have to do this and you have to do that. It was more of, when the student is ready, the master appears kind of thing. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So I just like, this is what I have done. This is what has worked for me. And you know what? Here's some knowledge. Here's some knowledge on it. Knowledge is power. And the more knowledge you gain about stuff, the better you feel, because you don't know what you don't know.
Right.
And so the more I began to get the knowledge and the power, I kind of let go of a lot of the fear that surrounded a lot of that. And, as we know, fear is, can be false evidence appearing real, which is one of our quotes from our cousin Tommy.
Yeah. Well, my uncle, your cousin, but more like a cousin
your
to
uncle,
me.
my
People are like,
cousin.
that's your uncle? Yeah, that's my
yeah, that's your uncle. But believe me, you know what? That is something that he really, really helped me with. And
very wise for somebody who used to chase me around the backyard with a soccer ball.
Yeah.
Until, grandma had to come out and yell at him. Sorry, Tommy.
Yeah. Yeah. But
And why was he chasing you with a soccer ball?
Probably because I was doing something annoying or blowing him and his friends into smoking in the basement. Just backstory, you guys. My mom's the oldest of 5. My Uncle Tom and I are only 5 years apart. So we grew up more like cousins, not like uncle and niece. So there's the long and short of that. But he's also another awesome healer in the family. So
I have dropped the links to her kitchen, her story, and
her sanctuary.
Yep. Well, yeah, I did that one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
And you know what? If you if you go to Her Story Buffalo, you can actually get to all of the other websites through that. They're all connect to one another. So
So if anybody's listening, as I don't want anybody to sneak away, but I just dropped them into the comments on YouTube. So go right in there if you want, guys, and that information will be in on the Where's My Sage YouTube page. So if you're looking for the information that Susie's talking about as we go, they're there on logged into to YouTube. So that's why you look me up, and I'm looking up and down. I'm putting that data in. So if you want to look right away, it's right there. Her kitchen's there as well. So, okay. Sorry to interrupt. I just wanted to say, hey, if you're looking, please like, share, subscribe, get the information out there, get some friends on here, tag some friends, bring them on in here. So,
well, like you said, you're sure somebody would have 25 million questions ready to ask during the show, right?
Yeah.
I bet you didn't think I heard that, huh? The look on your face just says it all right there.
Yeah.
Michael, do you have any questions for our guests up to this point? Because I certainly want you to have a chance to.
I will get my questions in there. Let's get the.
Are you sure you're turning bright red?
Again, it's the lights. If I turn them off, I'm not so bright.
No, I'm seeing your cheeks there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so I found it fascinating too that once you were on this journey, but especially after you went into remission, I felt like a lot of times when we would talk, you would tell me, oh, this woman walked in and we ended up talking and, oh, she does this or she does that. And that was back when you were still in Elmwood. And it was like your store, you were a magnet for these people who needed to be there and who needed to connect with you or you with them. Don't you think?
I agree 100%. I agree 100%. And that's exactly what would happen.
Yeah.
It's really the law of attraction with that. It's so true because I that opened up so much more. And actually, my daughter used to get aggravated with me because I had a counter in there with stools, and sometimes people would sit forever. And it's like, are you going to get any work done? Or are you just going to sit here and talk? But you know what? But you know what? Listen, I cherished those moments because I
Yes.
still have those people that come and see me. And you
Yep.
know what? It's exactly that. You get from them, they get from you. And it was
Absolutely.
always such a wonderful feeling. And you know what? To me, I love helping
Yeah.
someone else feel good and feel better. And especially when they're going through something like that,
Yeah.
because I know that I had people that helped me with that, and I wanted to make sure that I give that back, and
Right.
it was just really, really, really important to me to do that. So yeah, that became a big part of our space, sharing stories and even
Right.
our jewelry line and stuff like that. It was just, everybody had a story and stuff. But on the other side of that too, I don't want to say protect myself, but make sure that I didn't absorb a lot of that, because I am very much an empath. I am very much someone that feels a lot of things that other
Yes.
people are feeling, and I had to protect myself on that because you could be very triggered by that and go right back to the whole incident, my whole experience.
Yeah.
So I had to also learn about
Mhm.
protecting myself, and
Right.
that was important.
Right. And it's so funny because I always joke that, I didn't know anyone in the family was like really gifted. Like I never was able to make that connection because I didn't have any guidance. And it's not a blame. It's just that's just everyone was on their own journey and no one had connected yet. And I always find it funny that it wasn't until I came out publicly that other people started acknowledging it in that way. But I always find it interesting. And I just talked about this with on Saturday night with the people I was with. Um, we all have different ways of acknowledging. So we're experiencing the same things or going through the same things or talking about the same kinds of things, but we're using different terminology or we're just viewing it differently, yet it's the same. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And, never really and truly realizing how rich our family is with healers, like true healers, people who really are open to their own gifts in their own ways, even if they're not openly acknowledging it on that level.
Right.
Which is fascinating to me,
Right.
Because we don't realize. But I think over the years, it's also helped us to learn now
Right.
to be able to verbalize or make those connections, and helped us to help others, which is even better.
Exactly.
Do we have any
Exactly.
questions? I want to make sure we get people's questions
Yeah.
too.
Well, you're seeing questions I'm not seeing then, I guess. It's really amazing the location that, your current location and the energy that it puts out as a safe location. And,
Mhm.
I wish, a stepmother in Texas wished that she had something or at least to get like that with a recent loss, or my mom down in North Carolina. I mean, when she left from up here, having a location for that kind of support for those things. So bless you for doing that kind of thing. And, folks, like I said, I posted the website so you can see some of those pictures of the location that you have on there. And it's a friendly location in the energy. So Carmela says she agrees. She remembers meeting you with our friend Nicole and spoke about her sister and picture of this tree she has in the store. So what's special about the tree?
Yeah. Well, we didn't really go to that part yet of like her story and where
Yeah.
her sanctuary came from. So,
Right.
That's
when we talk about, did you want to ask something? Mike?
no, just like usual. I'm 5 steps too far ahead of everybody else. So
No, that's okay. Kristie, did you want to say something?
I just was going to ask you more about your journey, but I want you to be able to finish whatever you were going to say.
No, ask me.
Okay. So we were raised Catholic, right? And I'm very grateful for the background that I have, with that. And I know just being, I hate to say it, we're not even that far apart, but like 2 generations, we were raised very differently, obviously. We come from a very strong, very supportive, loving family. And religiously, it was a good experience, but not the right experience for me. But that has nothing to do, I think it was good because the family stuff we did and the support and the fact that everyone went and everyone did what they did. And even for myself, working in the church, working in it, volunteering in my church the way I did growing up and going to the family church really helped me to have a good experience with that. But whenever it came to, going to mass, another friend of mine just said it perfectly a few hours ago when we were having a conversation. She said, I always felt like when I went to mass, I was being reprimanded for an hour. I didn't learn anything. It didn't feel good to me, even though it was meant to. And I totally related to that. And over the years, I've learned, religion is not necessarily what spirituality is, or it can be different, even if, some people may feel it's the same and some of us don't. How do you feel about that, especially going through all the things that you've gone through, especially with your battle with cancer and growing your business and things like that?
Well, I feel like God and prayer was very strong in my world when, like you said, growing up and also going through breast cancer and stuff. And I actually feel like I found a whole new level of that with God and my faith, because you don't necessarily have to be in church to feel that and to, practice that. I mean, I would take walks in nature and say my prayers and, talk to God and be grateful. And like, when you think about what God, well, the way I believe what God wants most for us is to love ourselves and to take care of ourselves and to love others. So I really practice that. And I feel that prayer, in whatever way that looks for you, is very powerful. And having that time to connect with yourself and then connect with, a higher power is something that I really, really practiced a lot and still practice to this day. So, I think it looks different to everyone else, but I am grateful for my background and how I grew up and stuff. And I think that the spirituality part of it is different than religion. Your spirituality is your spirit. It's your inner voice. It's your soul speaking to you and listening to it. And your soul wants you to be happy and it would never steer you wrong. So I just feel like I practiced all of that together and actually learned a whole new level of my faith and what I believe in.
I love that.
Did you go down the roads of other faiths while you were looking into things?
You know what? That's a good question. And you know what? Yeah, I mean, I feel like I'm very much about, like meditation became a huge thing for me. So, but meditation, it's almost in all religions, it's the same, whether you're praying a rosary or whether you're praying a mantra on your mala beads. It's about being in the moment and just taking care of yourself. Like, so yeah, I looked at all of that. I mean, when you start to look at meditation and all that, you look at, Buddhism and everything. So I feel like the core of all of it comes back to loving yourself, trusting yourself, listening to your inner voice, being kind and loving to other people. And that's what I try to practice. So
thank you. And spirit was off, so I had to fix the screen. So I'm always on this side. I'm like, okay.
I know. Like, what?
I'm like, my energy's just off.
Are you trying to
I can move everybody.
me?
Yeah, I can
Oh,
move
there you go.
Yeah.
All right. Okay.
No, he's being a smart ass.
You're trying
You know.
you're trying to confuse me. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
My energy just gets messed up when I'm on the other side of the screen.
Okay. All right. We're gonna
You know
send
what's
you good
funny?
energy.
As I normally would have been the first one to be like, yeah, you need to fix this. And today it didn't bother me at all. I don't know why. It's so weird.
And from Michelle, we had a Father Tom Reddington who always taught us God, always wanted family first.
Mhm.
And that was a very, very interesting gentleman. So,
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I don't think, I mean, Kristie didn't really tell you the background of like our families. And honestly, family is so important because I mean, we grew up
You can
with
definitely get into that.
um with all my grandfather who had a farm, and then all his daughters, Kristie's grandmother, all my mom's sisters lived on all across the street from us. So family was so important, and our times together, Sunday sauce, Sunday football games, and so we really were in each other's lives when we were growing up, and we have maintained that, and that is something that I will never ever forget. And like Kristie's mother was one of my like amazing supports through everything I went through. So I'm grateful that we had family.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, there wasn't a weekend that we didn't see each other at least once.
Mm-mm.
And that was just mom's side of the family. Even my dad's family is all, everyone went to school with everyone at some point, and some were in the same classes. But yeah, that was very grateful for that, and as
Yeah,
people
so
get
grateful.
older, and just, it's sad because, Sarah got a little bit of it. Your daughter, my kids didn't get it as much, only because then everyone was having their families and everyone's families were getting older, but the bond is still there. Like my kids especially still know, if you are in trouble, you go anywhere. You you can call any of them and they'll drop anything that they have to do what they have to do for you. And we're very lucky. A lot of families are just not like that anymore, and they just or never were.
Yeah, I'm very grateful. That's something,
Mhm.
I mean, that's something, I'll
Yeah.
speak of a lot is gratitude, because gratitude is huge in my book for
Yeah.
my survival and my healing.
Yeah. That's all. That's beautiful for sure. Questions, Michael? I don't want to dominate the.
No, you're doing fine. I will ask my question.
You.
Where I need to. It's very important for the background to come through, because that journey that we all take is where we figure out what's going on. Let's see what we got here. For Matt at Central Florida Bigfoot, volunteering for hospice was like that. I got way more than I was given of my time. Thank you for doing that.
That's beautiful. Yeah, that's awesome.
And there's a lot of other family comments coming in that family's there. So, that's you're there for your family. You're there for, that support, no matter,
Right.
Yeah.
My mom's side of the family, huge, her aunts and cousins and stuff, gazillion of them, but, when we did do family things, it was always there. So, Kristie, I'm going to let you kind of add to the next one as I'm formulating my next question. This spiritual question
so
is coming.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
So full of,
no.
you know what?
No.
So, all right. So you accomplished certain things while you were still in Elmwood, in that story, in her story. Her story, we should say. So, things really seem to take off. The people that you were attracting and finding yourself attracted to, the ideas you were having, the projects you were taking on. What was one of your greatest accomplishments at that point? What did you start? What did you create? What did you overcome and build?
Well, I would say one of the greatest accomplishments was creating Her Story jewelry collection. I mean, I really, like I said, wanted to give back. And, you know, when you're going through something that is like life threatening, you know, you think about your life, you think about what matters, you think about, you know, what's important. And so many people gave me so many beautiful gifts and so many, you know, breast cancer stuff, and it was all wonderful. And but for me, afterwards, I wanted to create something that helped women live strong. And, you know, I was on a vacation after going through everything, and I was going by a jewelry store, and I saw this sterling silver cuff, and it said "Live Strong." And, you know, Lance Armstrong, you see all the yellow bands and stuff. And so this was like a sterling silver one. And I was like, I have to have that, because I wanted that reminder of just living strong. Like, you know, you don't forget, but you just want to live strong now. That was the bump in my road. Now I just want to live strong. And the person that I was with at the time, he's like, "Oh, you don't need it. You can get it later. We'll come back." And I was like, "Absolutely not. I'm going in that store. I'm buying that for myself, and I want it." And was the beginning of me, like, kind of like really knowing my voice and saying that, no, this is what I want. So I bought this bracelet, and then when I came back, I was like, this is how I want other people to feel. I want you to feel no matter what you go through. So the jewelry line was created with my inspiration of what I went through, but it's about living strong. No matter what happens or goes on in your life, we all have a story, and it's a line of empowerment, inspiration, and strength. And I just love it. And we sell it all over the country, and so many women have bought it, have given it, have shared it with their daughters, with their sisters. And it's a really powerful message, and I just love it. I always tell people, I just told a woman today that was in their space that bought it, the more women that wear it, the stronger I feel like it makes it, because it's just, the message is, you know what, live your life strong no matter what comes at you, and you're not alone. So, you know what, when you feel that you're, you know, maybe you're going through something that someone else hasn't gone through, not the case. You're just not alone on it. And you're here to support and feel that connection. And so the jewelry line has been a huge, huge part of my passion of what I do. Definitely.
Go ahead.
Do you have a direct link to just your collection, or do I need to?
If you go,
I'm on a page, and I found some samples because I'd like to share some samples
if you go to Her Story Buffalo, and the first page, it says Her Story Jewelry Collection, and you click on that, and that tells you my story. It tells you why we created it, and why it's such a beautiful line. And, you know, like I said, from something that happened to me that was so tragic was born something beautiful. And the more women that can feel good, and it's not to say that a piece of jewelry is going to make you feel good, but it's the message, and it's the you know, sometimes you just need that reminder of something on your wrist that is, you know, like just you know, giving you that reminder about living and being inspired.
Well, and you're also using crystals and quartzes, and you know that whole section of things. And now my mouse doesn't want to go where I want it to go. So I'm going to pull up that share screen. Is there a particular piece that really speaks to you in your design that I can share with everybody here?
You know what? I love them all. You know, when you talk about crystals, the beauty of the whole collection is there's 5 crystals that I use that we used throughout the whole collection. And they were just always crystals that spoke to me. I loved the colors, you know, smoky quartz. And there you go. There you go. That's our Celebrate
Good
Her.
job, Michael.
Yeah, there you go. That's the Celebrate Her. So that's the second part of the collection.
Okay,
So
and I'll
those,
go back a
yeah.
page then.
yeah, that's good though. So that's the second part. But this is, there you go. Shop the Her Story jewelry. There you go. Strong Women. If you click on Strong Women, there you go. That necklace that I'm wearing in there is the very first piece we created. And everything's made in Buffalo. Everything is hand picked, and it's just wonderful. I'm very proud of it, and I'm proud and that I get to do this. Like, that's one of my favorite pieces. And you know what?
Love that piece.
That piece
Love it.
is, you know what I love about this piece, and this is where I speak to again about women in the support. This is our Layer Your Strength piece. And what this piece symbolizes is it's not just about layering your jewelry, but it's layering the women around you and the strength that you gain from that. And so that's all rose quartz, which is what we know, self-love, healing, you know, self-worth. And then it's moonstone, which is feminine energy. And I just love that piece. I love that piece. That's a really powerful piece that is great.
Just to look at it, you can feel it. Makes you feel good.
So pretty. And my sister, I mean, we didn't even
can't
talk
quite
about
see that one too, but
yeah,
okay.
there it is.
Okay.
But
Yep.
her son took all the photos for me, so it makes it that much more special.
Important.
So, yeah,
So,
totally.
Again, that link is there, but I know I got
There you go. There's
pieces
all of it.
for some family members and stuff like that, because you really you can feel the energy going to that stuff, you know.
Yeah, I love it too. We just got a new account out in Montana, and I love it. I was talking to the owner today, and she told me that she has done so well with our collection, and that so many of the women that come in and buy it from her just love the energy of the jewelry. And I just love that, you know, because you know what, Kristie, it's what you said earlier. It's intention. You know what? Our intention behind this is about empowerment, strength, and inspiring someone to live their best life. And I think that it comes across and you feel it. So I would say, besides my daughter being my biggest accomplishment in my life, it would be like the jewelry. Definitely.
Cool.
Yeah, I love it. Love it. So I think this is probably a good spot to take a break, since we have to run our commercial. So if you need to get a drink, you use the little girls and boys room, this is the perfect time to do that. And when we come back, we're going to pick up where we left off with Sue's journey and find out how she got to where she is today.
And this is a good time to like, share, subscribe, hit that button so you know we're there. Leave a comment and give us a thumbs up. So hang on for the commercial.
WLFE-DB.com, where you can find vodcast shows, podcasts, and more, like Where's My Sage, Inside the Drag Closet, Across the Pond, Paratalk Radio, Just Cindy, and more. So go check out WLFE-DB.com, where talk radio is a whole lot better. Our shows are your shows, and that there makes for a great talk radio.
Hey guys and dolls, this is Casey DeVille, the better half of DeVille Inc., Baltimore, Maryland. If you're ever in Baltimore, stop in and see me and Tony. Invisible Brie, 5920 Eastern Avenue, Baltimore, Maryland, 21224. Give us a call if you're in the area, 410-400-9641, or look us up on the web at DeVilleInc.com. DeVille Inc., where we specialize in you.
Ted Van Son Jr. is a seasoned investigator and well-versed in the ways of paranormal investigation. He is now ready to share his ideas and unique approach with all of you. Flashlight, recorder, and comfortable shoes. Hit the ground running as you follow this easy step-by-step guide to a fun and thorough paranormal investigation, perfect for first-time and lightly seasoned investigators. Think outside the paranormal box. Learn all about the technology and techniques used back in the early days of paranormal investigation. You can find these valuable resources online at Goodreads, Barnes & Noble, Walmart, and Amazon. Get yours today.
Hi, I'm Jenna Grover. In the world of fashion, we get lost in the cost. Everyone wants that special piece of quality jewelry, but they can't afford it. Not on my watch. I sell handmade quality jewelry for a fraction of the price, and that includes jewelry made of sea glass, natural stone, crystal beads, glass beads, Bigfoot jewelry, and more. If you don't see what you want, email me, because I make custom jewelry too. Check out my website at gbythesea.com. Also, you can email me at jewelry@gbythesea.com.
You're listening to WLFE DB Radio. Now, back to our program.
Welcome all, and welcome back to Where's My Sage for this second hour. Today we're with Sue Morreale from Her Story in Buffalo, talking about her journey, and we've got some comments here from the audience. From Kat, says she's got to go, but we want to thank you for a good show. Powerful takeaway. Special thanks to Sue for you sharing your journey and living strong. Michelle says you have beautiful jewelry, and she will be checking them out closer. And so, again, folks, please like, share, subscribe, hit that button. I did my technical stuff on my end. All right, Kristie, you know you've got the next follow-up question. So you put a nice show prep together while I was out running around the woods this weekend. So.
Well, somebody had to get some work done. I mean, I don't have to tell you. I'm teasing. You were working. Okay.
Lately.
So what?
Lately.
What? You know what? I think you need to go to bed. You're crabby. It's like, Sam, get back here. You're not getting off like that easily. Nice try. You can sleep in the car on Thursday.
And folks, remember, you can catch this replay YouTube and on Spreaker, Spotify, iTunes, iHeart, Amazon Play, Alexa, and about 15 others. So please check, like, hit that subscribe button, share it with your friends. And next question, Miss London.
All right. So you have this amazing, awesome, wonderful, beautiful jewelry line that you've created, and it starts to take off. And I believe you mentioned you are all over the country now with this jewelry line, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Where are you now? So where can people find it? Because we have people all over the world that watch our show. So where can they find it? Like a store, like are there certain states you can tell them, you know?
I can tell you all the states. I should have listed all them in front of me, but definitely Montana, California, South Dakota, New Jersey, everywhere here in Buffalo, Lewiston, Williamsville, East Aurora, Lancaster.
And these are all in New York, you guys.
New York, Seneca on the Lake in let's see, North Carolina. I'm trying to think of what else.
There, Michelle, you can find it close to home.
Yeah.
And you know what too is there's a we don't have all of them up, but another nice thing that we do, once again, because I'm all about sharing stories and helping support one another, on our actual website you can find where we have our stuff, where you have our jewelry. So you can go to that section that says where can you find us, and it'll bring up the location and the storefront and the story about the women-owned business that is carrying it. They're not all up there yet, but there's a good amount of them. So there you go. There you go. See, wow, you're good.
He's on his game.
There
He
you
is.
go.
He's very
There
good.
you
I'm
go.
telling you. He's
There
a
you go.
keeper when he's not crabby.
Yeah. So, yeah. Scout and Gather, California. Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. Good
So
stuff.
proud of you. That's so
stuff.
awesome.
Thank you. You know what? Like I said, when you're doing what you love, it makes it easy. And Yeah. Oh, and at Roswell too. And I have to say, yeah, I forgot about that. They're doing a
Yeah.
great job with it there. So, and I'm really happy because it's helping a lot of people when they're in a mode of
Right.
uncertainty and stuff, and their days can be hours there, and they go into the gift shop for that little piece of like
Mhm.
serenity, and to be able to have that there makes my heart happy. So.
Yeah.
So my question is, when you started to put the jewelry together, I know you had your lotions and potions and that kind of stuff, but your study of crystals, deciding what crystals and stuff, or are you just going by energy and saying, I'm going to pick this to put into my piece?
I think it was a combination of both, I think it was what felt good, and what also looked really beautiful together. I really loved rose quartz, and I know that someone had given me like this rose quartz palm stone when I was going through everything, and that became a piece that like came with me to like all my treatments and all of my doctor's visits. It would be in my pocket. And like I said, sometimes you get your back and forth. People are like, oh, crystals can't do that and stuff. But you know what? When we talk about intentions and what you want to get from it, my intentions were that this was a reminder to keep myself grounded that day, to keep myself strong that day. And so it was a combination of both. And it's funny because it's as I picked and felt the crystals, then when you read the like meanings behind them, I'm like, oh yeah, okay, this makes total sense to me.
Amazing, isn't it?
Need this. I need this. And that's why a
Right.
lot of times we have a crystal bar at the store, and Sierra, my daughter, who owns the store with me, she never wanted to put like what the stone meant on the crystal bar, because she just wanted it to like be what people felt attracted to. So we did that for a while, and it worked really well, but then people also wanted to give them as gifts, and so they wanted to know what this stone meant. And
Right.
it's just crazy. Like, once again, when you think about, like you said earlier, Kristie, you're kind of ahead of your time. It was like crystals were like, okay, yeah, whatever, and now
Right.
it's like, oh my God, like today alone, like 4 people came in to get crystals, and
Yep.
it's funny. So I think it's whatever it means for you, but it was definitely a feeling and energy that I felt when I held them in my hands and stuff. And then the beauty, like just like labradorite just makes me smile, and it makes me think of the water and the calmness of it. So that is like my ultimate like favorite, but if I was to tell somebody when they're first starting to learn about crystals, or picking crystals from our jewelry, I always talk about rose quartz, because I think with everything, it starts with loving yourself and nurturing and taking care of yourself. And if you don't do that, you can't be or love for other people. You have to start with yourself. And it took me being 41 and getting diagnosed with breast cancer, to finally step into that and realize that, I'm amazing. I love myself. I need to nurture and take care of myself, and not in a selfish way, but in a
No.
self-love way,
Yes,
So
Thank you.
absolutely. Yeah, because we're so conditioned to think, men and women, right, are conditioned to think that if we are not doing for others all the time, and we don't put ourselves and the people we care about second, that we're selfish or it's wrong. And that's just so wrong, and it's just such a backwards way of thinking, and I think it's created an issue in society, especially nowadays, where people, their priorities are not where they need to be,
Mhm.
so I agree with that very much. We need to start loving ourselves. We need to start remembering that we are worth something, and that, we always have to be, helping others, but we can't help anyone if we don't help ourselves first. Eventually you're not going to have anything left to give. You have to replenish. It's a cycle.
Mhm. And
sure.
that kind of leads into a nice way of, if you have a question for that, about how her sanctuary was born, right? Doesn't
Let's
it?
do it.
Yeah, I mean,
Let's do
right?
it.
I mean,
Yep.
let's talk
Absolutely.
about that. Let's talk about
Absolutely.
let's talk about my sister.
So, yeah.
Let's, I mean, there's a perfect example of knowing that you have to put yourself first,
Mhm.
and not feeling guilty about it, and not being afraid to do that,
Right. So why don't you give a little backstory about Cindy then and tell people a little bit about her then?
Well, my sister
Hold on.
Cindy, I know.
Okay, I'm ready.
No. Well, you know what? She was my best friend, and she was an amazing human being. Her and I both are registered nurses. She was a registered nurse as well, and she was another one that was always nurturing and taking care of everyone else. I mean, we were 15 months apart, so we grew up really close together, and
Mhm.
she had such a huge heart, and she wanted to help everyone, and she wanted everyone to be okay, and she loved family traditions, and
Mhm.
her kids were her two boys were her life, and she just needed to learn that you have to take better care of yourself, and she tried, and I think that was another thing for me, that another lesson in my world of learning that you can't make people do things, you can't make people learn things. They have to have their own journey, and they have to realize that. And my sister, I just wish that she would have done a little bit more of that for herself, because I feel like it really mattered in her healing when she was diagnosed with breast cancer after I was, and it was a huge, like, mind-blowing experience, because it's like I had breast cancer, now my sister has breast cancer. What's going on here, and just to put it out there too, neither one of us had the BRCA gene, so it's not I mean, I'm sure they could come up with 20 more genes or 50 more genes, but we had extensive gene testing, and we didn't have the gene. And so I think that that's where I really started to look at how we need to, like, take care of ourselves mentally, spiritually, and physically. And it really all goes hand in hand. I could have fed my sister all the best food and most organic, delicious food in the world. But unfortunately, she had some work to do on her, personal relationship, and it was not healthy for her
Right.
in her marriage. And so I think that, realizing that it's okay to put yourself first and take care of yourself is just so important. So, with that being said, Sierra and I created a sanctuary space for Cindy at her house. And I wanted her to have a place that was just hers. I wanted her to have a place where she could meditate, where she could pray, where she could, think about, journal, take care of herself. Anything that made her soul happy, I wanted her to have in that space. And it was great, and I'll never forget the moments of all the wonderful times that we had in that space and helping her create that. And so when she passed away, I just made a promise that I wanted to create sanctuary spaces for women, and I think everyone should have a sanctuary space in their world, whether it's on their desk at work or in the smallest little place in their house, just somewhere where they can realize that they are important and that they matter and that they take care of themselves. And so her sanctuary was born from that. And once again, giving back to the community and what we want to do, I wanted to continue with that journey of all the women that supported and helped me. So that space is a place where women can come and talk about, whether it's meditation, whether it's Kristie doing all her healing work, whether it's nutrition, whether it's, there's our Buddha booth, this a
Love that
meditation booth.
booth.
That booth
Love
is
that
amazing.
booth.
I manifested that. I wanted that in our space, and I manifested it.
I'm
That
glad
was,
because that's where I prepare for all my shows.
it's so beautiful. It's a woman-owned business. She created that space, and I think everyone should have something like that. You know, it's a wonderful
I love
space.
it.
So that's where her sanctuary was born from.
That's beautiful. That's absolutely beautiful. And I'm going to just go a little bit further to say that I remember when you were thinking about it and you were trying to decide whether or not you were going to be able to or want to, or if it was the right thing, move forward with that idea and make that next change, because you did indeed move yourself again, which from somebody else whose spirit guides have her all over the place. I know what that's like, and I know how difficult that can be, but you found a new space that would accommodate her story and her sanctuary so that they could be sister stores and work hand in hand, just like I watched you and Cindy do growing up. And so that's just beautiful. And I remember how you really were hesitant to make that step. You weren't. Your soul was not hesitant at all. But again, we have to think of all the ins and outs.
Exactly.
And
You got that fear. It's that fear.
Absolutely.
Fear.
But you just knew, and it was just so, you have to do this hands down. There's no question about it. This has to happen.
Mm-hmm.
And I personally am grateful. And I know that there are so many people out there who are grateful. Cindy would probably be like, what the heck? You got my picture up and you got this and there's all this attention on me. I could just hear her now.
Well, you know what? Listen, it's
but when
okay
it comes
because
down to it, yeah.
Yeah. And when it comes down to it, it's part, you know what? She's healing and helping people along with me. You know what I mean? I know she's there with me, helping me do that. And she wouldn't want it any other way. And I'm grateful, I mean, you have those moments of why her and not me, you know what I mean? And, I still have to work through some of that process, but, I'm just grateful that I am here and that I get to do this work, and I'm doing it in honor of her, and I will never stop fighting for a cure for that disease and trying to help women that are living with it to live their best possible life. So, she's with me.
That's the ultimate work right there.
And you guys were able to kind of give tribute and put that out there on Destination Fear, right? You guys, Kristie, you filmed in there, and I mean that energy.
That was cool. They loved it.
Yeah,
they loved it.
Thank you for bringing it up, Mike.
Yes,
we really did.
But I'm just saying is that the energy is there. The picture of you guys is behind in that space, and that space is just I've been there for a couple events, and even as a guy, it's a very comfortable space. So,
yeah. So, so I guess we'll jump in and talk about that, right?
Yeah, that was
fun. When Destination Fear was coming to Buffalo, and for those of you who don't know, I was on the episode of The Statler, and that was season 2. No, that was season 1. Wow, it's pretty bad. It's been a couple of years. So, anywho,
and I'm the one that's missing things most of the time.
Listen, man. So, I was contacted by a couple of people who were working on the show to say, hey, we want you to do the interview we're going to do with you away from the Statler. We don't want to do it with you at the Statler. We want you in a different setting. And they had painted one picture for me. Cemetery, something old, something whatever. I'm like, guys are asking the wrong person. I know that's awful, but there are better people to scout that stuff out, So I kept my eyes and ears open, and finally it was like, wrote back to the one producer. I'm like, I really don't know. Here are a couple of the major things in Buffalo and Niagara Falls, but I'm not real sure that's what you're looking for. So telling Susie this the one day, and I'm like, yeah, I just have to find like this place. And she was just like, why don't you guys just do it here? Come on, we just do it. You're just sitting down and talking, right? Just use the shop. It's great. You can use the space. I was like, oh, all right. So she had to, when I mentioned it and I told them why the space was so important and why it would be perfect, even if it didn't fit what they originally were, the description or the idea of what they were actually looking for in the beginning. I was told to tell her to submit, and she did. And out of, I think, 10 or 15 other places, right? Her sanctuary and her story won out.
Yeah.
She still had to submit everything and apply, and I'll never forget when you called. And so fast forward, right? Sorry, but I just will never forget the day that you realized. So we're what was it? I get the phone call and they are asking, or you wanted to know like how many people are coming and how many to accommodate. Do we want food? Do we not want food? The whole bit. So I'm asking, and I think they gave me an answer of like, oh, I think there's going to be like 17 crew members there and stuff. And I remember being on the phone with you when I was in the truck. We were going somewhere, and all you were like, what? Wow, crew, camera people, what are you talking about? And I was like, Sue, they're filming there. Wait a second, I didn't realize that. I said, yeah, and it was just awesome because it just made my heart happy that you realized that was really, because I really had no idea you didn't realize that.
Oh my God. It was
So
crazy.
yeah. So it was nuts. Oh my God, it's actually going to be on TV. And they actually had your picture.
Yeah.
Picture.
Yeah. They loved the space. They were funny.
Yep.
All the crew, they were like taking pictures of the crystal bar.
Yep.
And you know what too is it's like, even from a guy's point of view, I love the way, the producer, he asked if he loved the picture of Sierra and I hanging on the wall. He was a great guy, and he asked if he could actually use that in the segment. And I was really honored about that.
Yeah.
I thought that was pretty amazing. It spoke, to him to be in that. So it was great. And that was great. You did a fantastic job, by the way.
Oh,
you were amazing.
You.
Like
Oh.
It's like you were on TV forever and ever and ever.
Oh my God. Yeah.
Great.
Thank you. I was sweating bullets and I was so nervous.
You wouldn't have known. It was good.
Oh.
See, the things that happen in this space is pretty awesome. Let me tell you, these walls could talk. Woo-hoo.
Oh, honest to God.
That's a different show.
That is a different show. Believe
That's
me.
right.
It's like countertop conversations. Let me tell you.
Oh, so all right. So fast forward, here we are. You have this co-op space now where people can come and shop, and they can also learn, work, sit and read, because people can just walk in when there's nothing going on, right? If there are no events being held, people can just walk in and sit. You have books available, reading materials. They can just chat with you and just come in and enjoy the space in the day and just relax.
Right. We, of course, things. So, that kind of leads to like her kitchen in the sense, because things did shift and change with COVID. So obviously, and once again, Kristie, you say you have to kind of move and flow. So, obviously we couldn't hold events in her sanctuary, and we couldn't have it open for a co-working space. So that kind of changed a lot of things. And what happened right before COVID is we launched Her Kitchen, which is another part of my journey of being plant-based. So it's plant-based wellness. And oh, there you go. There's our tea bar. So we have a tea bar and everything. So Her Kitchen was born from my journey of wanting to, once again, share with people about all the amazing food that can really help heal and really make you thrive in life, whether you've gone through cancer or not, just in general. It's a really healthy lifestyle. So Her Kitchen was born from that. So her sanctuary has not had events and stuff back in it yet. And Her Kitchen is in that space with all sorts of kitchen products. Once again, we talk about the old and the new. So I have vintage infused with new kitchen stuff in there. So you can, make your kitchen your sanctuary as well, because I just love the way everything flows together. And it's like, may her kitchen be her sanctuary, because you're once again feeding not just your mind and your body, but your soul and everything together. So those are all the products that we carry and everything. And the majority of them are also women owned or local businesses. So right now in the space, it's a little restricted on that. So it's not as much. They can come in, sit at the tea bar and have conversations with me, but we haven't hosted any events and anything in there yet. We haven't opened that back up yet.
I know. I'm waiting.
Yeah, I know you are.
I can't
Now
wait to
here's
get
all the
back in.
classes that we're doing
Yep.
though. These are all great classes that we're doing. Like next weekend, we're doing, these are all virtual. We're doing how to build a plant-based charcuterie board. And we're doing an intro to plant-based wellness. So we got a
Love it.
lot of cool
Love it.
stuff going on.
And you have a
Yeah.
couple of chefs helping you out, and I see you have a
Yeah.
nutritionist on staff. And
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah. Well, you know what? Once again, it's not all about me. It's about how we can all work together, and there's, together stronger. So if I don't know something, then I'm going to make sure that I find out the right person to answer those questions for you. And I love working with people to help you live your best life.
And these are long. I mean, you have a 6-month series that is here.
Yeah. That's
And
our third one actually. So we did 2 of those since then, and we did it through COVID. And I think that that's another really cool thing during COVID. As much as it affected people in like a lot of negative ways, there was also a lot of positive things that came out of it, because I feel like so many more people are really in tune with, oh my gosh, what am I putting in my body? Because when you're putting stuff in your body, it also affects your mind, because the gut brain connection is real. I mean, there's science behind that. So we were very fortunate to be able to do these classes virtual and help people through a super difficult time know what foods are going to really help them build their immune system and, help them stay strong and stuff. So that was a gift.
Love
boy,
it.
that looks yummy, and I gave
Doesn't
up.
it?
I know. I know.
I did the veggie thing for about 2 years for health reasons, and
Yeah, but you gotta, you know what? This is the thing. This is the thing about plant-based wellness that people understand. It's so much more than just a salad. I mean, of course, this is a plant-based charcuterie board, but you know what? There's all sorts of nuts and seeds and legumes on there. And we're also teaching you how to make some plant-based dips, like with cashew nuts and stuff. So it's not just eating a salad. We have great veggie burgers. I mean, plant-based eating has come so far. And you know what? I never ever tell people, don't eat meat, don't do this, don't do that. I say add more fruits and vegetables. And that's the philosophy behind what we do. Add more fruits and vegetables to your diet. That's how I grew up. I grew up on a farm with our gardens, and just kind of get back to that kind of eating, simple and clean.
Yeah.
and you're doing wine pairing to go with it too.
My daughter is a sommelier. So she is a wine expert, and we're going to do it's a woman owned business. There she is.
That's Sierra in the middle.
That's Sierra. That's my beauty. And she is a foodie, and she's also a wine sommelier. And we are doing organic wines, because that's another thing. It's all about finding that balance in your life. And, you still want to have a glass of red wine and stuff, but let's learn about some wines that are healthy and organic for you. And there's a really nice local shop over here around the corner from me, and they do all sorts of local organic wines. So it's cool.
Love that.
I think I might have to plug my power back in now and take my ear out for a minute.
That's okay.
I'm running low on my juice.
So what made you really say, all right, we're going to give this a shot? We're going to put these things in. And are you going to expand to a bigger location now that you have food as part of things, or can you do a larger class in there? or
I can. You know what? I really, really, really love this space, and I really curated it so beautifully. So I don't feel like I'm moving anytime soon. But you know what? If something else opens up, who knows? As far as like making a bigger her kitchen, and I mean, I would love something like that. I mean, we have we have a plant-based market right now in there, so we carry prepared foods. We have a permit to do that. So we do that, but I mean, like a juice bar, I mean, I would love all of that because that's the ultimate, let's go shopping, let's do a little meditation, let's have a juice. I mean, it doesn't get much better than that.
I love
Micah,
that.
Micah says we need you in Europe and
You can't have her. Get your own.
Yeah, you know what?
Or I'm coming with her.
I would love to. I would love, yeah. Yeah.
Someday.
Yeah, someday when we go visit. Hey, we have family. Before COVID, I had a plane ticket bought and paid for. We were going to Italy to see our
Oh,
family. I mean,
I
you
would
want
love
to talk
to.
about clean living over there, man. Eating off the land. I love it.
Yes.
I love
Yes.
it. The simplicity.
know.
If you look at the Blue Zones, if anyone ever wants to read that book, that's an amazing book, and it shows you. It's David. Is it David or Danielle Butner? He talks about the healthiest places in the world. And it's amazing because you learn about what it is, and it's family spending time together, their diet. It's pretty incredible. It's called The
Love
Blue
it.
Zones. It's a really great
Love
book.
it.
Really great book.
Huh. Well, and there's one last thing I just want to say about the Her Kitchen because I just love it. Our food is our medicine. You always say that. And I just love it because, Grandma and Grandpa's garden, your parents, Aunt Frances and Claudia, their garden was just everybody, the farmhouse, the orchards in between they were just amazing growing up, and you really take it for granted and take advantage of it because even though we didn't all live on the farms, we were there together. So we always got lots from it, or people were dropping off because there was so much of it all the time. So we were always getting, fresh fruits and vegetables, especially the vegetables. And it was just amazing,
Yeah,
and
totally.
just the feeling and to see, our families, my grandpa, your mom, just being in their element, doing it and how happy it made them.
Yes, exactly. And you know what? It's funny
Just-
because that's exactly it. And, people may say, oh, did your mother meditate? It's like, oh, yeah, you know what? When I have childhood memories of my mother in her garden, that was her meditation. She was doing something that she loved. She was present. She was focused on it. And I mean, that was a beautiful thing. I mean, I have so many great childhood memories growing up of my mom in her garden and just seeing how much it meant to her and bringing all this food into the house to eat it. I mean, that's how we ate.
Mhm. Yep.
I think we need to just get back to that simplicity. It doesn't have to be hard. It's just clean, whole, simple foods, and
Mhm.
and there's a lot of for people, if they don't have their own gardens, there's a lot of farmers markets. There's a lot of places to get stuff. There's the CSA shares where you can, get a share and do that. And so there's a lot of places if you don't have your own garden where you can, get fresh.
Right. That's amazing. Love it. So there were a couple of things that I wanted to bring up just because I want people to be able to find you and look for you and know who they're reading about if they see it. You have been featured multiple times over the years, either on local TV channels and shows, but especially in the last, say, 10 years, you guys have really been, either you've had pieces written about you, you are all over. You're on different panels and boards, whether it's about the cancer thriving, we'll say, right, and the survivorship and the camaraderie that you have developed with all these other women, or if it's the business. So talk a little bit about that.
Well, I mean, I think it's once again really important to be a part of your community and give back. So I learned that early on after I went through everything, where I started doing a lot of connecting and fundraising first and foremost for breast cancer. So I really connected with Roswell and did a lot of work for them as far as raising money and being specific about where I put it, where it went for breast cancer education and research. And I mean, we raised over $30,000 for breast cancer, which is pretty amazing when I think about it, because it was me and my girlfriend. Okay, she owned a martini bar on Elmwood Avenue, and we got it in our heads. Her mother had breast cancer, and we got it in our heads that we were going to do these, because you talk about my style and stuff. We did these fashion shows. It was called Fashion Rocks for a Cure. Do you remember those?
Yes, I do.
And
I
we
do.
we sold out. And I mean, back in the
Amazing.
day, like I was kind of one of the first of like all of
Yeah.
our girlfriends that really had breast cancer.
Right.
And so it was like kind of it was a big deal. And, you know, it was like
Yeah.
a lot of our girlfriends were like, wow, you know, so we had a huge support system, and
Mhm.
we had those Fashion Rocks for a Cure were amazing. So those just started to like open up different doorways of like speaking and doing things. I mean, I spoke at a couple different things. I was recognized by the American Cancer Society for surviving and thriving in life, and you know what I've done to help other women and live a healthy life as well as myself, and kind of my tips and tricks for that. So that was pretty good. I was an ambassador for them. I did a lot of work with the American Cancer Society too. The Making Strides. That was another big one that I worked on very heavily with my girlfriend at the time. She has since moved away, but she was in charge over there. And so we did a lot of work with them and helping women get wigs and all that kind of stuff. And so that was another organization. We actually started, you know how other places have bar crawls.
Yes.
We did a bra crawl on Elmwood. So all the businesses were so amazing, and they all made a bra, and we featured them in the store.
I remember that.
Remember those?
That was amazing.
It was so
That
much
was
fun.
amazing.
It was so much fun. We even had someone did a bra with Pagula and the Sabres on one and the Buffalo Bills on the other. It was so cool, but it was just it was really fun to watch. Oops.
There she is. Hi, Grandma.
Jeanette.
Aw. That's all. Yeah, they were phenomenal.
Yeah,
I
I'd
mean,
love
they
to see
really,
what
some of them
everybody-
were extraordinary, like the way they went all out, you know?
Yeah, it was great. It was really fun. And you know what? Once again, you know, you're just creating that community and working together, and it was great. So I mean, I've done a lot of that kind of work, and yeah, so good stuff. Good stuff.
That's awesome. There's one more thing I do want to bring up and just ask about that I think is really awesome.
You hear me?
Yes. Are you? Hello.
Hello.
He looks genuinely confused, doesn't he?
Yeah. Did he like lose his? Did he
I don't
lose
know.
it?
I don't know. He's like a lost little kid sometimes.
I know. What the heck?
Michael, what are you doing? Well, we're good. So I'll just ask you
we're
about
good.
it
So
because we're
just-
getting close to the end. So one thing that you do that I think is really amazing is you acknowledge. Oh, okay, there he is. I was going to say, you can't hear. You're muted.
You're muted. Yeah. Why is he muted?
I don't know. He'll be back. It's all good. So, you acknowledge other women. So I believe it's called Favorite Female Friday. And then you have Serenity Sunday. Love that. Love that. How did you get started doing that? What? I mean, I'm sure by now we all probably know, like, duh, Kristie, that's how, but tell me about it, because that's pretty
Well,
amazing. And
you
you've
know,
been very faithful doing that.
I have, and you know what favorite female came from, I mean, we'll back it up to the Elmwood days, honestly, is when I started, Sierra and I started featuring what we called, we did two things. We did a Strong Woman of the Month and we did Her Story Hours. So what that was is every month we took their picture, what they did, their product, and we did a Strong Woman of the Month in our window. So every month we featured a different woman and we did Her Story Hours. And so what that was is we would do the same thing. Once a month we would feature a woman in the store that would tell her story, share her products, do her stuff. So so then, all this transition and moving and all this, I just wanted to continue that on. And I just started with Favorite Female Fridays because I just think it's so important to, once again, I said, I say celebrate each other. When we work together, we go far, right? So
Right.
I love highlighting other women and what they're doing and why they're doing it. And I think it's just really amazing, especially locally here in our community. We have so many great women that are helping and healing and just doing great work. So I like to showcase that and highlight that. And then as far as my Serenity Sundays, Sundays are just really important to me. They're about family and they are about doing the things that make your soul happy. So whatever that looks like to you, I just try to encourage you to do that because it's finding that serenity and that joy in your day and being present. So I like to share what I like to do on Sundays, and I think we should have serenity in every part of our day, but I think when you set yourself up on Sunday with that, it like makes for a great entry into your week.
I agree. That's so beautiful. I love it.
My
I love you.
apologies. I lost my headset there
What
for a few minutes.
happened?
All of a sudden, I couldn't hear anything, and I'm like, okay. And all of a sudden, the computer's like setting something up, and I'm like, why is
Well,
this
we
going
missed
on?
you.
So
well, maybe she missed you.
yeah, I know you can go without me. I know that. That's just how it
I'm
is.
kidding. I'm kidding.
So,
I'm kidding.
who needs Mike? It's all about strong ladies now. Yep. Okay.
Wow. Well, you fit in quite nicely here tonight,
Well,
dear.
you
So
know what? It's definitely, you know what? It's funny because I'll have men walk in. Actually, on Saturday, this guy walked in, but he was like so in his element. He loved it. He was with his wife, but he was like, "Am I allowed in here?" And I'm like, "Okay, all right. First of all, it's not, I don't discriminate against men coming in, but there's just something beautiful, like you had said earlier, Mike, about the energy of like feeling safe and feeling like you can say and do and be whatever you want to be. And that's what that space is. But I love to have like men in there that are loving on their women, on their wives, on their girlfriends, on their whoever they're with, that like nurture and promote that, because I think it's important for everyone to have that feeling,
But you walk into some of those stores and you're just like, yeah, I'm not supposed to be in here. Here it's, I need to get this to whoever, then they're at that time. And it's a different, you've got a different atmosphere,
Yeah.
and with having maybe so many family members that are survivors, I mean, maybe it speaks to me a little different, but, you go and you just have a place that really gives, and I do some victim service stuff on, the side, and it's just you've got something there to help people out where they need to be helped out, and there's so many different what am I looking for, pages in your story that me asking questions, I haven't got to 3/4 way through a book to kind of figure out, Kristie's got a start on a book club a little header, a little farther ahead than I do. Boy, I can't talk tonight. So, it just, so many different variations of what you have to offer. I mean, you're a very holistic approach of energy healing. That's awesome. So
Thank you. Thank you.
Dave crashed on Lori, it looks like. So
we need you, Mike. I love it.
I know it's not a Bigfoot thing, but we've got Doug Highcheck coming up. We'll be talking Monster Quest in a week or so.
Yes.
Yeah, but you know what?
But this
Listen,
is so important.
Wait, though, but ultimately, see, you know what? It's so funny because right before I came in, when I left work, this like made me so happy. This guy walked in like right when we were getting ready to close with his girlfriend. And they were young, like probably in their 20s. And it was so cute. He's like, I want you to see this store. And I just loved that. He wanted her to see our store. Like it spoke to him. He took her to the crystal bar and they were picking out crystals together and everything. And I was like, do you got a brother? Because it was I just loved the way he was talking to her. I loved the way he was reading stuff. I just thought it was such a beautiful thing, and too is, I think it comes down to too, is when we talk about, I'm not just saying that only women should find that self-love and be happy. Men need to have that too, because together we're like amazing. And when you have that in yourself, your wife's going to be happier. It's like a mutual thing. So I think it's just really, really important, but it was just really great for me to see. And it just kind of solidified to me like what our space does and what it's about, and just bringing people together and stuff. And it was cool, especially because I was coming here. I just loved how he was talking about all the energy and stuff, and he was a guy.
That's awesome.
But you do a lot of other, you have host other folks doing, Kristie's done her readings. I know Lindsay's been there and done some of her self-help classes. You have a lot of, I know COVID's really jammed that up, but you really are in, I wasn't the only guy at some of those things,
Yeah, exactly.
And you do let the guys through the door, and it's there to help the community, because if we're educated, I guess we can help whoever we're with, and that's an important, and given those little pieces of encouragement, be whatever it is that throughout the store,
Definitely.
Okay, now you're having technology issues.
More men need to be able. No, I just sorry, my earbuds were dying because I was switching on and off because I was on for an hour before now, so I thought I could make it, and then the other one started to go, but it takes a second for it to actually disconnect and then connect to the manual.
I know, my
old fashioned.
I hope my little thing is dying too. My iPad is like getting ready to shut down on me. I don't know why it's not charging. That's one thing. See, I'm just not technical, man. Not me.
You're good. You can handle it. You did great.
Yeah.
So what's the next step? I mean, you've got 3 beautiful websites that run in here. You've got your store. You guys are helping ladies, women move and grow. What's your next phase? What's your next project?
You don't know, or you can't talk about it?
I'm not sure yet. I mean, I definitely would like to create more sanctuary spaces for women that need it, that maybe can't get it on their own, like whether someone like a business sponsors stuff from our space to help me create, help us go in and create something for them. I definitely like to create more sanctuary spaces, that's for sure. And I definitely, the food is such a big thing. And I feel like, more and more people are moving towards, what they're putting in their body and in their mind. So I feel like, her kitchen stuff is only going to get stronger, and I'm looking forward to Sierra having a a larger role in that as well, because she's such a little foodie, and she's the upcoming generation of, this, it's the next generation of, our looking at our planet and everything, right? So
Right.
Right. Yeah, sustainability and
yeah,
moving on to that next.
yeah,
I'd have to go ask the chef in the other room there what's the positives and stuff. So,
yeah.
yeah,
So
that's. Sorry, I had
Awesome.
some thoughts in the background. You'll have to look at the private chat. So folks, anybody have any questions, comments, concerns?
I can't
Drop
believe
them
it's
in the
been.
comments.
I
It's almost
know.
2 hours. It's almost 2 hours.
Can you believe it?
That flew right by. Well, I didn't have a lot
Right.
of work to do tonight. You two ladies definitely
We made it
managed to
easy for you.
made it very easy, which is great because I started the show with a migraine and it's still there, but it was kind of good for you guys to kind of keep rocking it out. And
well, I hope our
so
energy comes through, that it goes away for you and you have a really good
Yeah.
night's sleep tonight.
thank you. So
And
Me
you
too.
know what? I really want to thank you guys for having me on here. And, I love the work that you're doing. And Kristie, I love all the work that you're doing, helping and healing people and guiding people, and just, stepping into your purpose and your passion and doing it with such grace and beauty.
Mm,
So
Thank you.
love you.
Love you too. Thank you for being on with us.
yeah, and folks, again, I'm gonna drop the website back in for her story in Buffalo. Those links are there. Please take a look. If you're coming to us from Spreaker, Spotify, or one of the other podcast locations, those sites are already up on our YouTube channel at Where's My Sage. And I apologize if you guys are hearing the beeping, but the backup set of headphones is going tonight too. It's really weird. All this stuff is charged. So, and
Get
the
your
other
crap
ones just
together. We have
the other
investigation
ones
coming
just
up.
plug in. These are the good ones, and I don't know why they're not working. Switch over my phone.
Oy.
It's not been my
Oy.
technology week. So please
All
check
right.
out Sue's
Yeah.
pages, her stuff. It's just it is an amazing location. She has amazing products and ideas to help folks grow.
Yeah. So if they have questions, they want to know about what you're doing, they want to talk to you, they can call the store, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Call
Yeah,
the store,
they can.
send a message.
They can call 716-886-6457. That's the store number. And Mike put all the websites up there, so you can reach us there. And yeah, we're opened. Well, with COVID, we're just getting back to more hours. We're opened right now Wednesday through Saturday, 11 to 6.
And you have a spot here to go ahead and tell your story if you want
Yes,
to.
I
Right on your
love
webpage,
that. I love that. Yes.
and it's
Yep.
there.
Yeah, it's there. So
There's
please share. I would love to hear your story.
Absolutely.
I would love to hear it.
Wow. Well, thank you so much. I love you. You're
Thank you so
wonderful.
much.
You're an inspiration to
Thank you.
everybody.
So
You
are
truly
you.
are.
Thank you.
Well,
Thank you.
have a good night. Get some rest.
All
And
right, you
please,
too.
everybody, don't be afraid to reach out to Sue. I sent everybody to her. So, all right. Well, thank you so much for coming
All right.
on.
Love
Have
you.
a wonderful night. Love you
Mike,
too.
See you later.
Hey.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
all right.
Wow.
Where's my other? There is just so much, and again, I can ask questions tonight, but you've got the background. You're there quite a bit, and it's a beautiful location.
Yeah.
She's got a great heart of helping people out. I met her 3 or 4 times now.
Mhm.
But folks, if you're looking for something, it just find
There's
the
so
energy.
much going
It's
on.
just we talk about our universe, and we really push sorry, sometimes I'm trying to read the comments at the same time, and it's not working tonight.
Squirrel.
Yeah,
Focus.
it's just not working. But
It's okay. It's all good.
If you're in the Buffalo area in Williamsville, right? Yeah. No. Yeah.
Buffalo,
location.
downtown Buffalo.
Buffalo. Yeah,
Hurdle
okay.
Avenue.
That's it. Okay.
Hurdle Avenue in Buffalo. Check her
So,
out. Sierra,
yes.
Susan. That's
Yes.
great. So we have a lot coming up this week, Mister. Oh, and I do want to just let everybody know, because you're always telling me I need to do more for myself.
Oh,
I
yeah.
am running a sale this week. So yesterday,
We gotta pay the bills somehow.
that's right. We got to pay the bills and we got to sponsor the trips, right? So, all this week I have a sale on private readings. So if you are interested, it does look a little wordy. I do run it a certain way because it's easier for me to handle and to keep track of. But if you have any questions, just call me. I'll be happy to talk to you and help you out with your order.
Yeah.
So please share that. It's all over our pages on Facebook and spread the word that way. Next week, so then we're also going to be on the USS Salem this coming week, this Saturday night. We're going to go live at 8:30 and 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
And we'll be with
quite
Don
adventure.
and the crew
Yes.
from Boston Paranormal.
Boston
So
Paranormal.
go check that
Yes.
episode out. We'll tag those episodes together when we get going, because
Yes.
they'll give you a little more history if you want to catch up on the Salem before we go live at 8:30 and 10:30 on Saturday. By then, hopefully, I'll broken all the equipment I need to break ahead of time, so it's good. My bags won't go flying around the room like they did the last time. So.
Well, you never know. I mean, that was a good piece of. Too bad nobody else saw it. Our reactions were priceless if you go back and watch. However,
yes.
And then next week we have spirit messages, so we'll be doing a reading show on Tuesday night.
Awesome.
Is that
And
it?
what?
Do we
Then we
cover
get.
all the bases?
Yeah, hear all the voices. What voices?
Dude,
Oh.
you need some sleep. Did we cover all the bases?
No, these things were beeping to tell me they're dead, which is, strange.
Well,
So
excuses. So
So-
yeah.
so we're at 10 o'clock. We're at that hour.
Excellent. So thank you, everybody, as always, for tuning in. Please catch us on Saturday night for our big adventure. And we'll probably go live. And if Mike falls asleep, I'm going to hit that live. So we're I can pull over. I won't do it while I'm driving, I promise.
You'll probably get pulled over. So it wouldn't be the first time my research partner has gotten pulled over lately.
Well, not this one. Not this one, just for the record. Not
Just
this
make
one.
sure your headlights are
So-
good, not like somebody else's.
Yes. Well,
So.
hey, I mean, it is what it is. But
It's
all right,
not-
everyone. Well, enjoy the nice weather. Please stay
Peace.
safe.
And sample on.
Have a great night, everyone.